Good morning, everyone. In the last session, we are trying to work on the JDBC template. Inside this particular JDBC template, we identified how we are going to communicate with our database here. Okay. So in the last class, I am trying to connected with the different system here. I could get some audio option here. So because of the audio problem, we could not connect the yesterday class here. And on Saturday, what we discussed here. So let me recover one more time here. Spring Core, and this is our package we are trying to discuss. com.spring.core.jdbc, and internally we created one object called person, and we are having these many properties here. So using this particular property, what we are doing here, we are trying to insert the data into database here. Okay, and so to insert the data, we created interface with implementation class. So what are the interface we are having? Person DAO as well as person service. In the person DAO and person service, we are having same methods here. So the first method we are trying to update, and the second method, we are trying to insert the record into the database, and the second method we are trying to update the record, and third method we are trying to delete this particular record here, right? So these are the three methods we implemented to work on our code operations here. To work on the code operation. Okay. So we'll see the simple example how we identified. So we'll try to insert the new record here. So instead of deleting this particular record here, we'll try to focus on the updating, like adding a new record here, so that we can understand here how it is connected, how it's connected to our database here. And here I'm trying to give set ID 3. So once this particular billing workspace is completed, we'll try to run our application here. So using Java application, I'm trying to run. Now you can see successfully inserted person record. Successfully, the person record is inserted here. Now what we need to do, we can go to the database first. Start from person. Select start from person. With the 3 ID, we insert a record. Getting the point. With the 3 ID, the records are inserted into the database here. Getting the point. So this is all about so how we connected here from the service method here, and from the service method to we connected to our DO application. Now you can see, so person DO dot add person, and we are moving into person DO IMPL. Inside this particular person DO IMPL, now what I'm doing here, with help of this particular JDBC template dot update, and here now you can see here it is a insert query. Here we are having insert query. Now you can see here, so insert query, insert into person values. Insert into person values here. So with the help of this particular values, and we are passing this particular parameter here. So these are the parameters we are passing to insert the data. So once we inserted successfully, we are getting this particular message, and otherwise, so we get some exception related information here. Right. So this is all about the add person method. Same way we are having update person, and same way delete person. Delete person. Correct point. And now internally we can see whenever we are trying to updating the person here, what we are doing here, with help of this particular query method, we are trying to get an object here. We are trying to get an object here. Getting the point. So this is all about the particular query method to load the data from the database. Right. And here what we are doing here, this particular row number, it's trying to provide the information. So how many times this particular query is going to call to load the data here, so that we can understand here how many records we are having internally. So this is the second parameter is going to work on the row number here. Internally it's going to work on the row number. Right. So back to here, with the help of this particular JDBC template we identified. Today we are going to discuss about the Hibernate template here. Sorry. So JDBC named parameter template, not Hibernate template. So first the named parameters and simple we completed. We'll go for the Hibernate template. But now observe, we need to focus on to the named parameter JDBC template. So to work on this particular named parameter JDBC template here. So now you can see named parameter JDBC template here. So I want to take same here. Okay, named parameter JDBC template. Okay, observe here with help of this particular named parameter JDBC template. But how like what we are doing internally? So this particular application dot JDBC. So JDBC template and which is expecting property here, which is expecting property. Now how we can create this particular JDBC template with a data source object. Okay, so back to here inside this particular %DOIMPL, I want to open this particular named parameter JDBC template. And so whether it is having section or constructor injection, we need to understand here. So now you can see here we are having constructor injection. Getting the point? Here we are having constructor injection. So now you can see with help of this particular constructor injection, how we are going to create object of this particular named parameter JDBC template. Named parameter JDBC template. Okay. So observe how I am going to write this particular setter injection here. Here I am trying to creating one more parameter. So data source. Data source. Okay. So once we created this particular data source here, now what I will do, here I am trying to add setter injection. Here I want to add okay. Basically, here we need to set data source here. With the help of this particular data source here, now what I'm doing here, this dot named parameter JDBC template is equals to new JDBC named parameter JDBC template, and internally which is expecting data source object. Internally which is expecting data source object here. So this is about the configuration here, right? So once we configure here, now what we can do? So we need to work on the add method, update method, as well as delete method. So to work on these three methods here, first what we can do, I want to comment out all the methods here. First I want to comment out all the methods here, because we need to work on the named parameters. With the named parameters, we are going to work here. Okay, observe, I'm trying to implementing all the implementation methods here. So add person, update person, and delete person. Okay, so first we'll focus add person. So to work on this particular add person, now what we can do, named parameter JDBC template dot update. If we observe carefully, so previously when we are trying to work on the JDBC template internally, so which expecting SQL as a parameter and the second parameter object arguments. The second parameter object arguments here. But now observe here the named parameter JDBC template here, So the same update method, here it is expecting map here. Here it is expecting map. So string comma question mark here. String comma question mark. Now what you understand here? So here we need to specify the parameter. So what are the parameter we are trying to pass? So those parameter names here. Getting the point. Observe here. So this one we are going to take, and here we need to update the queries here. So to update this particular queries, now what I'm doing here, I want to comment out all the queries. Sorry. Right. And how many question marks we are having here? 5 question marks. So I'm removing this particular 5 question marks here. So insert into person. And first one we are having ID. And second one first name. And third one last name. Fourth one full name. Finally email. Observe carefully. So instead of question marks here, now how I'm trying to pass here? I'm trying to pass the particular column name here. Getting the point. Any name we can take it, not only ID. So whatever the name, so we are having the like convenient name, we can go for the same name here. Getting the point. We can go for the same name, and we can define whatever we are interested here. But observe here, after specifying this particular insert into person, now here we need to focus carefully. Insert query. The same insert query I'm trying to pass here. The same insert query I'm trying to pass. But what about this particular param map? Getting the point. What about this particular param map? So we need to provide the param map here. So how we can provide this particular param map? Map here. What happened here? Sorry. And here, the first parameter we need to provide key, and here we can provide object here. The second one, object. Param map is equals to new hash map. New hash map. Okay. So this is all about the. So we created one hash map here. Inside this particular hash map, we need to provide the values here. So what are the values we can provide here? Now if you observe carefully, now what I'm doing here, person map dot put. Person map dot put. What is a column? This particular column, it needs to match it with this. It needs to match it with the values, whatever the value we provided. So those it needs to match it with ID. And the value, now what I'm doing here, person dot get ID. Person dot get ID. And for first name, last name, full name, and email. So these are the values we need to add here. Now observe, instead of the second column ID, I'm changing to the first name. Get first name. And so we can go for the third column we are having last name. Last name. And here we can provide full name, email. Okay, so these are the properties we need to provide here. So instead of question marks, now what we are doing here, only we are providing the column names here. So whatever the column name we have provided, so those we need to provide it as the key, and the value we are going to providing from the particular object. If you see the same add person method, how we implemented, where is the add person method? Maybe here. Now observe add person method. Right, here we define the insert query. The same insert query we defined here. But if you see, here we did not work on any map here. Directly, we provided the values here. So get ID, get first name, last name, and get email. Right. So don't confuse here. Just we need to understand the difference between JDBC template and named parameter JDBC template. So inside this particular named parameter JDBC template, we are having such information. So like instead of working on the question marks here, now what we can do, we can go for the each column with instead of working on the question marks here, each column with the properties, ID, name, something. So those property we can create a one map and we can set as a key, and the value we are going to get from the particular object here. The value we are going to get from the particular object here. Getting the point. So this is all about the like named parameter JDBC template. And now we will understand here what is the value the named parameter it's trying to returning. Again, if you observe, it is returning update like integer values here. And if it is returning the same integer value, we can copy this particular message here. Right? So we can copy the message, and after, now what I'm doing here, first we need to configure the named parameter. If you observe carefully, the named parameter internally is expecting data source object here. Internally it is expecting so data source object. So here, instead of working with the named parameter, now what I'm doing here, directly I'm trying to set with the data source object here. Directly I'm trying to set this particular data source. Internally I'm creating named parameter JDBC template object here. So whenever we are trying to call this particular data source object, the data source is going to pass it to this particular named parameter JDBC template. Okay, observe back to here. Now what we can do, so instead of calling this particular JDBC template from MPL, directly we can call this particular property. Getting the point? So directly we can call the data source property here. Right, now I can comment out of code. So why I'm trying to comment out the data source information here? Because sorry, JDBC template. So JDBC template we are not working. Now we are trying to work on the example with a named parameter JDBC template here. So whenever we are trying to work on the named parameter JDBC template here, so the named parameter JDBC template object we created internally, and whenever we are trying to create a person DAO object here, so we are trying to have the data source object here. So we are having the setter method, set data source. The set data source we are going to call with help of this particular property. Getting the point. So this section of code, the setter and the constructor we discuss in our core module. With help of the core module, we are trying to work on the Spring JDBC here. Okay. So if you now we need to go for the main method, and here I want to write here I want on the fork, and instead of this particular Spring here, now named here, and last parameter named parameter, and so named parameter. Right. So it is a full name. So named at the rate jdbc.com. So this is all about our email. Okay. So if everything is go successfully, now what we can do, with the help of this particular 4 ID, we are going to see one record in our database here. Getting the point. So how we created our database information? So observe carefully. Here we are having the database information. So data source is our bean ID. Driver manager data source is our implementation class for the data source. And here we are having 4 properties. Getting the point. Here we are having some of the properties here. So using this particular property, what we are doing here, we are trying to connect our application. Okay. So back to here, go for the main method, and here I'm trying to run the same example here. Now you can see with help of this particular named parameter JDBC template here, the record successfully is inserted into the database here. Now what we can do with help of this particular 4ID, so we are having record or not. Observe here with ID4, we are having one more record here, named. So first name named, second name parameter, named parameter JDBC template, and the email ID named @jdbc.com. Getting the point. So this is the way we can insert the particular information here. This particular information here. Right. Now let's see, we'll try to insert one more record here. And here, now what I want to provide. So instead of named here, so who is implemented this particular class? So we can insert the data with help of this particular name, and Thomas, and first name is Thomas, second name Risberg, so this particular class is implemented by the Thomas Risberg, right? Now what we can do, getting the point. So this is all about the second record I'm trying to insert in here with help of this particular ID 5. Now you can see the record is inserted. So go for the database and try to run this particular query. Now you can see one more record inside our database. So which database we are connecting here? We are trying to connect with a Postgres database here. Getting the point. So this is all about the okay, and we'll try to work on our update. So to work on this update method, now what we can do? So to update particular record here, first based on this particular ID, we need to load the data. Getting the point. So once we load, and we can update the data into the newly created object here. Right. So JDBC template dot, we need to write a query method here. So we'll try to work on the result set extractor. In the previous example, we connected with our row mapper. Okay, now we'll connect with the result set extractor. So to connect with the result set extractor here, now first what we need to write here? We need to write the update query first. So to update, to write the update query, now what we can define here? So observe update person set ID, first name, last name, full name, and email where ID. Based on this particular ID, we are trying to update the records here. All the records I'm trying to update here. Getting the point. So if we want to update single record, now this is the same query we can write. Only the difference here, whatever the column we want to update, we'll update only the specific column here. The specific column like either first name or last name or full name or email. Okay, let me copy this particular query. Okay, now you can see update person and update person. So we want to update all the queries here. But here the problem here. So instead of going for the question mark here, now what we can do? So define our column names here. Whatever you are interested here, you can define the name here. Full name and okay. So this is our update query. Let me copy this particular update query and here I want to provide update here. Right. So whenever we are trying to work on the result set extractor and what is the implementation method we are having, so we need to write the object here. So result set extractor. And internally we need to override the unimplement method here. So what is the method we are having? Extract data. Okay. And so which object we are trying to return here? Something called person related object. Right? Person related object here. Okay. So basically here we need to specify the ID here. Sorry. So let me check here the query section here. We need to pass the question mark parameter here. So result set extractor is not usable here because we need to pass one ID. Based on this particular ID, we need to return the particular objects here. So query for into we are not going to return. Row mapper. Okay. So how we can pass query for object to query for object to. Okay. So which method is convenient here? Okay. And here they are expecting result set extractor map object here. Here we need to specify param map here. Param map comma okay. And here we don't want to set this particular person dot get ID. Here we need to set ID. Here we need to set ID here. Getting the point. So based on this particular ID, now what I'm doing here, we'll load the data first. So once we load the data, what we will do, whatever the data we loaded, the existing data we are going to update it here. Okay. Now inside this particular extract data method, what we can do, we need to create person object here. So set ID rs dot get long 0. So first name, last name, full name and email. First name here. rs dot get string, and here we can provide index number, get last name here. So this particular last name we are going to provide as a second here. And here set email. So this particular email we are going to specify as a index as a 4, and will return this particular person. Right. So this is the way we are going to connect our, like we'll try to load the person record. Now you can see here we are having person object here. So loaded person. Loaded person. Right. So with the help of this particular loaded person, now what we will do? Internally, we'll try to call one more method to update this particular record here. To update this particular record here. Getting the point. Basically, so maybe this particular code we can define inside this particular update, I think. Okay. Let me create a method. Now what I'm doing here, so this section of code I'm going to copy into this particular method. Right? Call it. Now what I'm trying to write here, we are getting person to object, or we can call it as a loaded person. This particular object is coming from the existing object. Getting the point. So this is our existing object. Now we need to update this particular information here. The ID will be same here. Remaining column we are going to update. Getting the point. Remaining column we are going to update it here. Now we observe here first name. First name we are going to get from the person dot get first name. But observe carefully. So this is already we loaded from the database. So whatever the data we are getting from the, we are trying to update here. First name, last name, full name and email here. Person dot get last name. Full name. Person dot full name. get email. Okay, so these are the information. Now what we can do, again we need to update the data. Just here what we are doing here we need to load the data. Okay, sorry. Select star from ID. So basically, so this we need to use here. Select a person, right? ID we paused here, and here I want to copy. So just a second. Okay, so we'll change the particular person reference here. Now I'm creating one more map here to update this particular information. Basically, and here so this is all about the particular object information. Okay, I think so. Instead of setting so these many properties, directly we can go for the, so these are the information here. So directly we can set this particular information here. Okay, and here only we can give this particular ID from the person loaded ID, and we don't need this many object information. Okay, and here what is the method we need to call? What is the method we need to call here? So now named parameter JDBC template here, update query, and here update person, so parent map. Once we update here, let me copy the message here. Right. So this is all about the update method. Let's see, someone is messaging here, like what is his query? Line 65 and 66. Okay. You want to know the 65 and 66 here.
No, person dot get full name and person dot get email.
Oh, sorry. I did not change here. Get email. Okay. So this is the way. Getting the point. Internally, we need to focus on the, basically this is important here. First, what we are doing here, based on this particular ID, we are calling the get person method, and internally this particular get person method, what is doing here, based on this particular select query, is trying to load the data. Once the data is loaded, again we are storing into this particular person. We are returning the loaded person object information. And from this particular person, now what we are doing is we are passing same ID. Getting the point? We are passing same ID. The remaining columns we are getting from this particular person. Okay. So back to here, the main method here. Now what I want to write here, I want to comment out this particular. Okay, we don't want to comment out, right? Only ID we can comment out. And here, so what is the record we want to update? First we'll try to update the fourth record here, right? We'll try to update the fourth record. So what are the information we can update? So otherwise we can update the, okay, name and underscore update, parameter underscore update. So to get an information, I'm trying to append with our string here. Right, and email. So we'll keep as it is, that named email, and here we'll call update person. And here, what is the ID we can provide? 4 here. Cutting the point. So we need to see if everything is so successful here, we are going to update the fourth record with some other information here. So we are getting an exception here. So result set is not positioned properly. So you need to call next here. Okay. So we miss some information inside this particular get person. And here, whenever we are getting this particular result set here, we need to call rs.next here. Can we write a return statement outside? Okay. Okay. So this is all about the rs.next here. Now I'm trying to run one more time here. Still, okay. The column index is out of range. 0. Number of columns we are getting 5. Okay. Maybe, so this is coming from the one, I guess. Now what we can do, we need to understand the, what are the indexes we are getting here. Here I put a breakpoint here. So it's starting from 0 or it starting from 1. How we can understand here? By running this particular example. Debug as a Java application. Let's move to the debug prospect 2. Okay, so ID we are getting or not? Here we are getting error here. Here we are getting error. So because of the particular ID, so the same error we identified. Now how we can understand this particular, how we can resolve this particular error? Let's see. So we'll try to change the indexes to 1. Now again, I'm trying to load this particular object. So whatever the expected ID we are getting or not? 1. Cutting the point. Basically, what you understand here? What you understand here? This particular result set is starting from the long ID 1. Now we'll try to understand the string here. The string also we are getting 4. Okay. Now what we can do? We need to change the indexes here. Fine. And save here. Observe here. Oh shit. Okay, we need to run one more time. No value given for the first name. Okay, so no problem. We'll try to run the example one more time because the rs.next here, it's written true. For the second time, it's trying to return false here. What happened? No value update person. Okay, maybe so we are having an issue here. First name. What is the column name we given here? Okay. So first name, last name, and all our names we are having small here, but we made here capital. Okay. So this is an issue. Again, we'll try to run the same example. Basically, this is the way we need to understand the exceptions here, and we need to resolve the particular exception information. Now, what happened here? First name, no value registered for the key first name. Okay. So we registered the same here, but it is not matching here. ID, first name, first name. So last name. Full name here. Where is our? Sorry. I am updating. So updated the above properties here, and here we need to update here. Okay. So wrongly I updated the information. Okay. Back to here. Now we can run the same query. Now you can see it is updated successfully. So previously I'm trying to update the add method related properties, but we need to update the update method related properties. Okay. Anyway, so based on this particular ID4, getting the point. Based on this particular ID4, now what we can do? We need to see whether this particular properties are updated or not. Okay, I'm trying to go for the database. I'm running. Now you can observe ID4. Now you can observe name underscore update, parameter underscore update. So the records are updated here. Getting the point. This is all about the update query. But what we can understand internally, the update query we implemented first to get method to load the record based on this particular ID. Right. After loading an object, whatever the properties we are going to get, we are trying to update those properties here. If you are not interested, update all the properties here, what we can do? So go for the specific here, and internally inside this particular SQL query. Here the set ID we are going to update, our first name we are going to update, our last name, our full name, like whatever the property we are going to update, we can define the appropriate property here. Getting the point. Now we'll try to run the delete method. So to run this particular delete method, now what we can do? So we need to write first SQL query here. So what is a SQL query we can find? I'm trying to copy the same SQL query here, and only here I will try to update. Now you can see ID 123. So just for understanding here, we can define whatever the unique name here. So I'm taking as a ID 123. Okay, now go for the delete method. And named parameter, so JDBC template dot. Again, we don't have any delete method here. Getting the point? We don't have delete method. Now we need to go for the update method. Getting the point? Again, we need to run the update here. But here, so inside this particular update, we are going to specifying delete person query, not the update person, and parameters. To provide this particular parameter, so these are the two parameters we need. And here, ID 123. ID 123. So param map I'm given same here. Okay, now, so here, this also will return update here. So update is nothing but if the record is successfully deleted here, we are going to get the particular int count to 1 or more than 0, like greater than 0 we are going to get. So this is the, if the condition is satisfied, so this particular message we are going to get, otherwise we'll get this particular message here. Okay, now we can understand here what is the ID we are going to specify. So based on this particular ID, we are trying to delete the record from the database. Now I'm trying to comment out this particular person method, delete person. I'm specifying ID 4 here. Okay, now let me run the same query here to delete the record from the database. Now you can see the record is deleted here. So whether the particular record is deleted or not, how we can see? We need to go for the database, and again we need to run the same query here. Observe here the fourth record is not available. The fourth record is not available. Records here. Okay, so this is all about the named parameters JDBC template here. So any questions regarding our named parameter JDBC template? Okay, so we don't have anything here. Now what I will do, I will try to work on the one more here, simple JDBC template. Sorry. We need to work on the simple JDBC template. And simple JDBC template. And here, cutting the point. So this is all about the simple JDBC template. But observe, so when this particular simple JDBC template is deprecated here. Now we'll try to open this particular simple JDBC template here. We'll see. So basically it is deprecated here. So from the, since it is available from the 2.0, now, and it is deprecated from the 3.1. Getting the point. So it is deprecated from the 3.1. So why it is deprecated here? Observe in favor of JDBC template and named parameter template here. So JDBC template and named parameter JDBC template now provide all the functionality of simple JDBC template. Getting the point. Now what you are understanding here? Simple JDBC template is a same features are available in our JDBC template and named parameter JDBC template here. Getting the point. Basically, the simple JDBC template is a combination of JDBC template and named parameter JDBC template here. Right. So whenever we will try to work on the simple JDBC, so we can work with either the JDBC functionality, JDBC template functionality, or we can go for the named parameter JDBC functionality. Getting the point. So now, so we don't want to discuss more about the simple JDBC template. So why? Because we are trying to work on the, so which version here? Now if you see inside our, let me change the perspective first. Inside our pom.xml, what is the Spring version we are working? What is the Spring version? We are working on the 3.2.9. But from the which version onwards, the simple JDBC template is deprecated? 3.1 onwards. Getting the point. Okay, so we don't want to discuss more about the simple JDBC. But if you see, I want to provide the method sections here. Okay, let me enable this also. And add person. Here I am trying to work on the simple JDBC template. But now what you are understanding? Update method. Update method is expecting map. And the same update method is expecting object docs. Okay, now you can see I'm trying to pass this and the simple JDBC template update method. And the second one I'm trying to pass this particular arg here. Okay. But here, this particular arg is expecting object here, and here which is expecting map. Getting the point. So this particular object args here, and here maps args is nothing but param map. Now what you are understanding? This particular object args is coming from the JDBC template, and the param map just now we discussed about the named parameter JDBC template. Getting the point. Now what you understand here? In the simple JDBC template, we are having so both the combinations, right? So either we can go for the JDBC functionality, or we can go for the named parameter, the JDBC template functionality here, right? So this just we can understand the method section here. Getting the point. So we don't want to discuss more about the simple JDBC template because it is deprecated here. Okay. So back to here. Now I am going to work on the same example, whatever the example we discussed as of now. So we need to work on the annotation format here. Getting the point. We need to work on the annotation format. So to work on this particular annotation format here, now I need so your answers here, what are the steps we need to configure here? Because we already discussed in our previous example here, the particular annotation example here. Now I want to work on the annotation example directly. So without adding the explicit configuration here. Without adding explicit configuration, or we can go for the like first we can see the normal configuration here. Like first we can go for the AutoWire functionality, and later, so without the XML configuration, how we can work on the annotations example here. Okay, so first I want to work on the AutoWire related functionality. with the help of XML configuration. So could you please help me, what are the steps I need to write inside this particular application underscore JDBC XML? Anyone having any idea what are the configuration we can write? So if I'm going to work on the AutoWire, I will write AutoWire annotation, and based on the AutoWire annotation, I want to specify the object information in our configuration file.
We can use @bean annotation.
No, I'm not writing explicitly without the XML configuration. So just we need to work on the AutoWire AutoWire with the XML configuration.
And bean ID.
Okay, so first what we will do, we'll go for the person service IMPL. Here, person service IMPL is depending on person DO object. So where we can write the AutoWire annotation here?
On the top of private person DAO.
Right. And here we can go for the @AutoWire, or we are having an option to go for the here also. Cutting the point. Here also we can go for the same AutoWire. So instead of going AutoWire, now we can go for the our Spring AutoWire. So this is the custom annotation we implemented here, right? So this particular annotation we can work on the on top of the method, on top of the particular property, on top of the constructor. So wherever, like in the three places, we can go for the this particular AutoWire. But we identified here in the three locations, which one is our best option. For the mandatory purpose, we can go for the constructor. For the optional purpose, we can go for the setter method as well as this particular property level. My suggestion, we can go for the on top of the property here. Okay. Now, whenever I'm trying to work on this particular property, on top of the property, now what we can do? So what is the configuration we can eliminate here? What is the configuration we can eliminate in our configuration file? So previously, without a AutoWire annotation, we work on this particular example. Now I provided AutoWire annotation. Right. So what is the information we can eliminate from this particular configuration file?
This bean ID person DAO.
So which line you're talking about?
Line number 10.
No. Okay. So just we can eliminate this particular line. The service IMPL internally it is depending on the person DO, right? Now here, initially whenever we don't have the AutoWire annotation, so we are making the property here. But whenever we are trying to providing AutoWire annotation here, we can reduce our configuration file with the help of this particular removing property or our constructor tag here. Okay. So now I remove this particular one more tag, one tag here. But here I want to work on the name, the same example we are going to work. The example call name or parameter JDBC template. And here I'm trying to providing Spring AutoWire. Okay. The AutoWire annotation I provided on top of the data source. Now you can tell me, so which one we can eliminate here? So which tag we can eliminate from the our configuration file?
Data source
So line number,
18.
sorry,
12.
yes. So just we can eliminate this particular line number 12. Basically, we need to provide B here. Now what's here? So just to providing the information to the container, we are going to work on the particular dependency injection with help of auto-void annotations here, right? So that what it will do, based on this particular type of the bean, the container is going to create the object here. So without providing the property tag or constructor tag, here we are not working on the dependency injection here, because if I am going to work on the dependency injection, we need to provide the setter method or constructor method, like a property method or constructor method. But here we are not providing anything. We are trying to comment it out the particular property method. But how these particular objects are going to injected here with help of the auto-void annotation. Okay, but here objects are not going to created. Once objects are created, it's going to injected into the dependent object here. Okay, but here if you observe this particular bean IDs we need to provide still. So why we need to provide here? Because we are giving an option to create a container here. Because explicitly we are not creating anywhere. But if I'm not creating an object here, how we can perform the operations here, right? So for these steps here, now what we can do? We need to keep as it is this particular bean IDs here. Okay, but now we need to work on one more information here. What is one more information we can go for? Here we need to define the context here. So why we need to provide the context here? In the previous example, we identified to work on the context here, like we need to add one more tag whenever we are trying to work on the auto-void annotation here. Context here, we go for the 3.0. And here, context here, we need to add this particular context here. So it will give you context related tags. Now you can see without saving here, okay, so automatically it's saved here. So we are getting the information here. So what is the tag we need to add? Context to annotation config. This is the tag we need to add. Okay. Now, so simple example, only one operation I'm going to perform. So what is the operation I'm going to perform? The insert operation I want to perform here, add person. And enable this section. Again, with the help of this particular for, I want to insert one record here. Okay, so we'll insert the same record here. Because the record is not available, with the help of this particular auto-void here, now I'm trying to inserting record here. Now you can see without any exceptions here, the records are inserted successfully. Observe, if you want to understand here, all the properties are commented out, carrying the point. But now still, we inserted the record here. Now we will see fourth record here, name would update. Carrying the point. The particular name would update information, the record we inserted here. Name would update and parameter update. Getting the point. So this is all about the auto-void annotation here. So whenever we are trying to work on the only auto-void annotation, what are the configuration we can make? First, we need to add this particular annotation config here, because we are trying to run our application with help of auto-void annotation, and the remaining only bean related information. There is no dependency related properties here. Okay, so this is all about the auto-void with XML configuration. So any questions regarding presentation? right? If we don't have here now, so we need to work on the like annotation example here without using XML configuration. So what are the steps we need to provide whenever we are going to work on the annotations here? Getting the point. First, what we can do? So we need to create a one class. Why we need to create a class here? Because here we previously we connected with our configuration one file here. All the information we provided inside the particular configuration file. Same way, now what we need to write here? We need to create a one class, the configuration related information here. Now the name of the class I'm trying to create as a Spring JDBC configuration. Spring JDBC configuration. Okay. So once we created this particular configuration here, what are the objects we need to create? What are the objects we need to create? So first we need to create person service method return new person service IMPL. Okay, so this object we need to create, and one more object, and here we need to work on the person DO and internally return new person DO IMPL. Right, person DO IMPL. And so these two common we identified here. But internally, person DO is expecting named parameter JDBC template and named parameter JDBC template. Internally, it is expecting data source. Cutting the point. Okay, observe. First, I want to create named parameter JDBC template and ID. This ID is not going to useful. Okay. Template I want to create. Return new named parameter JDBC template and which is expecting data source here. To specify this particular data source here, now what I'm doing here, I'm trying source out. Okay, so to create this particular data source here, now what we can do, return driver manager data source. Driver manager data source here. Okay, so instead of specifying the constructor information, now what we will do, so we'll remove the return here and we'll provide the data source object here. With the help of this particular data source here, now what I'm trying to write here, I want to provide all the properties. Driver class name. What is our driver class name? So what is expecting here? The driver class name is expecting string here. From where we can copy here? In our configuration file, we'll already configure. So this is the name of the property we are having, driver class name, and the value, this is the value. The same value I'm copying here. And driver class name URL. So this is our URL. And data source dot username. What is the username we are having here? Postgres. And data source dot password. The password here, this is password for our Postgres database here. Now, so this is the way we can connect, create our driver manager, data source, and return data source object. Right. Now what we can do, on top of this particular class, we can provide configuration. Right. So why we need to provide the configuration here? So whenever we are providing the configuration annotation, the container will understand here. So these are the classes related to our main classes here. And another one, what we can do, bean here. Another one, we can provide the particular bean annotation. Here also, I want to provide bean. And right. These are the main objects we created. Okay. So let me save the example. And inside this particular main class, so instead of going to work on the application context here, what is the main class we can go for it here? Annotation context, right? Something annotation config application context here. Annotation config application context here. Here we need to specify the configuration class. So what is our configuration class we are having? Spring JDBC configuration.class, right? And remaining everything is same. I want to provide 6 here. So named here, the parameter here, annotation. And so we'll keep as it is same. Getting the point. So observe here, now what we are doing here, without using XML configuration. Now you can see the XML configuration file we commented here. Getting the point. Now we are trying to work on the annotation example. The annotation related information we provided inside this particular class called Spring JDBC configuration here. Okay, now let me run the same class here. Now you can see successfully inserted the person record here. So what is the ID we are trying to insert in here? So 6 here. Observe here, with the help of this particular 6 here, the annotation related example, like an annotation related, the person records are inserted into the database. Right. So any questions here? So any questions regarding our the configuration classes here?
No, sir.
Okay. So if we don't have here, now what I will do, I will create a application.properties, right? Let me so remove this particular configuration information. Now, what I want to write here, configuration. Application properties. Okay, and environment to env. And here, AutoWire. Now what I will do, I will copy, these are the configuration into here. And URL. Password. Right. So these are the application.property file. Driver class name, URL, username, and properties. Now what I want to write here, inside this particular configuration here, env.get property. And I want to provide driver class name. And here also I want to provide URL. Get property, and here username, password. Okay. Uh, for in class and property file. Okay. Remaining everything, we are going to use same thing. So just for understanding here, with help of this particular property file, the same data like we are able to insert the record or not. I want to work on the with help of this particular 7id. With the 7id, one more record we are trying to insert into person table. Oh, class not found. ORG PostgreSQL driver. So anything we miss wrong here? Okay, so maybe JDBC class like driver class name is not finding, I think. ORG PostgreSQL driver. So this only we used here. What is a ORG PostgreSQL driver? Maybe we are getting equal, I think. Let's see. So maybe this we are getting as a string. Because of this, I think we could not get. Okay, what is the exception we got? Password authentication failed. Uh, why? What is a password authentication? Hmm? Why it is giving my name? Hmm. Anything we made wrong here? Driver class name, URL, username, and password. Okay, we'll see why it is trying to connect here. Where it is connecting? So JDBC template. Okay, internally it is connect JDBC template, get connection. So, so driver class name, maybe it's going to pass with the same information. Okay, JDBC. Okay, let me change this particular configuration. I think we need to provide the information. Before here, I need to add JDBC dot. Maybe we need to add this particular JDBC. Let me try here. Driver class A must not be empty. Okay, sorry. So JDBC username and finally JDBC password. Internally, maybe it's going to check with JDBC, I think. Let me run. Yes. Observe. So we need to provide the JDBC here. So directly the string is not taking here. The key, whatever the key we provided, the driver class name, we need to append with our JDBC. Because whenever we are trying to get the connection internally is checking with the driver class name whether it is expecting from the JDBC or not. Okay, so this is all about the property file. Now what we can do, we need to run the same query. Now you can see property file, the record is inserted here. Property file related, the record is inserted here. Cutting the point. This is the way we can define the database related configuration in our property file. With help of this particular the configuration here, we can load the information. Where is our configuration file? Here, with help of this particular environment interface, we are going to load all the properties. We are going to load all the properties here. So same way, now what we identified here, we can load the string related information here. Getting the point, string related information here. So to load this particular string related information, now what we can do, value I want to provide as a okay, and here testing. We'll observe the value annotation. In the previous example, already we identified the same value annotation, but here also we are going to work on the value annotation here. Now observe, but the value is coming from the where? Okay, we cannot use the 7. We can go for the 1. Okay, the value is coming from the where? In our property file. Oh, maybe. So he's expecting an error. Property of field string can be found in the okay, because of this, it's giving an error. Provide. Let's see. Maybe we cannot make a public here. The value. Okay, let's see. Value annotation attribute value dot val must be constant expression. Okay. We need to provide expression here. So we'll see. Still, we are going to get any error or not. Oh, string value. The value is printing, but we are expecting original value from the application property file. But whatever the value we given, the value it is printing here. Here, right? So this particular value we don't want to use here. Now let me change here. Okay, first record also inserted. Now we'll go for the 8th record. No. Okay, whenever we are adding like this particular expression, it is not loading. Okay. So we'll see this particular value annotation. Basically, why I'm trying to providing the value annotation here. Whenever if we want to load any specific information for this particular primitive properties here. So these objects are not created by the container. So these objects are we are going to create it, and for these cases we need to specify the value. The value we are going to get from the value annotation here, because everything we are going to work on the annotation format. So whenever we are going to work on the annotation here, so some properties we'll try to define in our application.property file. So from the property file we'll try to load. Same way we are trying to load. So maybe the expression like a Spring expression language here, it's giving an error. But we'll see, because in future we are going to discuss more about the Spring expression language here. So whenever we are discussing here, we'll focus on the value annotation one more time. Okay. Otherwise, I will do R&D why it is not giving an exception here. So whenever we are trying to work on the expression language here. So other than this, any other questions? The property file, with the property file example or without property file example, how we identified here? Let me know if anyone having any questions.
So to use this application, the property, right? We need to use this at the property source annotation only, or some other annotation also we can use.
So at this time, like we need to use only this is the annotation. Okay. So I'm requesting here everyone try to practice a XML configuration example as well as annotation example with help of the CUD operations here, like insertion, updation, and deletion related example here. Okay. So I identified only one example here to insert the data into the database here. To insert the data into the database. So with the help of this particular same annotation example, now we can perform the other operations here. Okay. So now I'm trying to move Hibernate related concepts here. So before going to start the Hibernate here, first basically we are going to integrate with Spring with Hibernate here. Before integrating with Spring with Hibernate here, first we need to understand the how the Hibernate is going to work without this string, this particular Spring here. So first we need to understand the basic introduction part about the Hibernate. So once we familiar with Hibernate here, we are going to connect with our Spring with Hibernate here. So we are going to work on the Hibernate template here. With the help of the Hibernate template here, we are going to integrate with our Spring with Hibernate. But now, before going to start the Hibernate template here, we need to focus on the what are the main concepts are available inside this particular Hibernate here. Right. Basically, Hibernate is one of the ORM tool here. So like the object relational mapping tool here. With the help of this particular object relational mapping here, we are going to work on the relational databases here. Different database we are going to connect it here. So with the help of Hibernate, we can connect to multiple databases here. Right. But now, how we are going to connect with our database here, and what are the basic classes and interfaces we are having, and using those classes here, what are the steps we are going to write to connect our application with the database using our Hibernate here. So inside this particular Hibernate, we are going to work on the persistence here. So basically, what exactly the persistence we need to understand here. Like, so basically in Java, persistence is nothing but we are going to store the data in the relational database here. Getting the point? In Java terminology, we are going to store the data in our relational database here. Right. And this is the fundamental concept of our application development here. So without this particular persistence here, we are not going to work we are not going to write any single query here. Right. So now you can think here how much is very important. The persistence mechanism here. Without this particular persistence, we are not going to integrate our application with the databases here. Okay. And so this particular relational database is here, how we are going to integrate here with the help of this particular SQL here. But whenever we are going to work on the ORM here, the ORM is going to provide the specific languages here, database languages here, right? So those are going to work on the, with the help of this particular specific language, we are going to communicate with our database here, right? So the, for example, Hibernate. Hibernate is having HQL, Hibernate query language, right? So as of now, so whatever the example we discuss in our %DO MPL, so these are the queries are related to SQL here, structure query language here. But whenever we are going to work on the Hibernate, so we are going to work on the Hibernate query language here. So we'll see, so what exactly the difference between Hibernate and this particular structure query language here. Okay, so back to here. So to work on this particular relational database here, now what we need to understand here. And internally, we are going to have one important concept called relational database management system here. So with the help of this particular relational management system here, now what we are going to write, we'll try to connect our application with the relational database here, right? And internally, what it will do, it's going to share the data with a different application with the different technologies here. The relational database management system is going to take care of like which technology you are going to use and which application you are going to developing here, right? Everything is going to consider by the this particular system called relational data relational database management system here. So we don't want to think about the more about the relational database internally based on the management system is going to take care of the configuration with a different application with the different technologies here. Okay, now we need to focus about the SQL first. So like what we are doing here inside this particular SQL here, first we'll try to create our DDL here. So what is the purpose of this particular DDL? So this particular data definition language, it is used to create the table or alter the table. Once the tables are created here, now we are going to work on the our DML here. What is the DML here? Data manipulation language here. What it will do? We'll try to work on the insert the data or update the data or delete the data or load the data. So first we'll create the DDL, later we'll work on the DML. But everything we are going to work on the with help of SQL here. Getting the pen. So whenever we are going to work on the SQL here, getting the pen. Whenever we are going to work on the SQL, first what it will do, we'll work on the DDL commands. What are the DDL commands here? In the previous example, we created the person table. So these are the comes under the whatever the table related information we are able to see here. These are comes under the DDL commands here. So once we created this particular DDL command with help of this particular select short form. This is our DML command. And the remaining we are discussed here, these are comes under the DML commands here, data manipulation language here. So once the table is created, with help of this particular 4 queries, we are trying to inserting or updating here, right? Whenever we are trying to work on the Hibernate here, so we need to know the SQL query related information here, right? We don't want to know more about the SQL internal structure here. Just we need to know the basic syntaxes here, like how we are going to create the table and how we are going to modify the table and how we are going to insert the data. So this section we need to know. The sections we already identified in the last class and in our today class session, right? And once we familiar with our DDL or DML, now what we are going to write here, we are going to insert the data here. But now observe here, whenever we are going to work on the SQL here, now what we identified here, with the help of this particular SQL, we are going to connect with our JDBC related information. So either the Java database connectivity, normal Java database connectivity, or Spring JDBC. So whatever we are going to connect here, now what we are doing internally, we are creating the queries. With the help of this particular queries only, we are trying to perform the operations here. But with the help of this particular Hibernate, we are not going to create the query. So Hibernate is going to provide some features here. So it's going to generate the query based on our objects here. So how this particular Hibernate is going to generate the query and what are the objects we need to create. So everything we are going to understand here, right? But before going to start this particular Hibernate, what are the information we need to understand? So most of the time we need to work on the persistent data, or we are going to work on the relational databases. With the help of this particular Hibernate, using persistent database mechanism, we'll try to insert the data into the relational database here, right? And whenever we are working on the relational database here, we are going to get some advantages here, like it's going to provide the sorting here, searching behavior, and whenever we are having any aggregation of data. So these are the advantages we are going to get on the relational databases here. And as well as he is going to respond for the managing the concurrence of the data integrity, as well as he is going to share the data between our multiple users and multiple applications here. Getting the point? With help of the relational databases here, the data is going to share by the multiple users and multiple applications here. So everything is going to taken care by the all the relational databases. All the relational databases here. In that, we are going to work on our Postgres database here. Getting the point? Now, so to connect our application, so we'll try to focus on our e-commerce application here. So we are not going to write much of the code in our e-commerce application. So just we'll focus on what are the concepts we are going to use with the help of this particular Hibernate here. So for example, here we are having one user class. We are having one user class here. So the user, whenever is trying to buy any item here, he need a billing address. Getting the point? So he need a billing address. So without the billing address, the item is not going to deliver here, right? And now, what is the relation we are going to have user between the billing address here? Getting the point? So with the help of this particular foreign key, we are going to make the relation user with billing details. So sometimes what happen here, this particular user is going to insert the data address related properties. Address related properties. Now what happened here? Again, we need to make the relation between the user with the address here. The user can have more than one address here. Getting the point? How we are going to make the relation here? Based on the primary and foreign key references, we are going to have the relation between the user and address. So these are the basic table we are going to create to connect to our application using our Hibernate related examples here. Okay, now, so this particular Hibernate related example, we are going to work on the simple example. So to connect our Hibernate example, first, what are the jars we need to add? What are the jars we need to add? So go to the pom.xml and here Maven repository. Inside particular Maven repository, we need to add Hibernate related jars. Hibernate core. So Hibernate core is enough to work on our example here. Sorry. So we'll try to work on the 3 version related jars here. So we can see the random one we can select here. 368 jar I'm trying to use. And we added this particular Hibernate core jar. Whenever we are added this particular Hibernate core, now we can check here. So session factory, transaction and session. Whether these interfaces and classes information we are getting or not. First one, session factory. So still we are not getting here. What about this particular session? Session also we are not getting. So we'll see once this particular billing workspace is completed. So meanwhile, what I will do, I will try to create one repository sorry. So this is our repository I'm going to use, and core 07, the same whatever the project we created here, same thing I'm going to use, and it's copied or not. I will commit the changes. Core Java and Spring Core, Spring JDBC and Hibernate examples. Right? So these are the module we discussed as of now. All the information I'm going to commit here. G5.github, the rate. Let me see, is going to connect or not. Oh. Why I'm getting an issue here? Get a receipt pack, not okay. So what I will do, I will try to download the git command here. So I will try to check with the git command here whether the whatever the code we discuss as of now, I'm able to commit or not. Basically, with help of this particular Eclipse, I'm getting error. So this is not the problem with the IDE. So it is having the problem with our GitHub account here. I will try with the command line. If it is works, I will share the link here. Okay. Now observe here whether the session factory. Now you can see session factory one interface we are able to see. So which is coming from the org.hibernate. And the same way now you can observe session here. The session also is coming from the org.hibernate here. Okay. So these are the classes are coming from the Hibernate. Okay. Now, so tomorrow we are going to discuss about the Hibernate concepts here, and with the help of the Hibernate information, we are going to work on the multiple example. So once we familiar with Hibernate here, again we'll back to the Spring with the Hibernate here. With the help of the Hibernate template, we are going to connect with the Spring with Hibernate template here. So once we completed the Hibernate template, we'll move on to the Spring MVC here. Okay. So this is our the day-to-day sessions here. Any questions regarding our today's session?
No, sir. Thanks.
Okay. So I will try to provide the code information where I am going to push the code. So once the code is pushed into the GitHub account here, I will give you the URL so you can access the code and you can practice the code here. So functional programming, like in the which concept you are trying to discuss here? Because the Java 8 feature we already discussed in the core Java, right? The functional interface and default methods and for each method, stream APIs we already discussed. Whenever we are discussing the core Java concept, we discuss here. So optional related here. So basically, optional is the one class here. So we don't want to discuss more about the. So just to see what are the information we are having here. Optional class here. Now you can see it is a generic class here, and internally it is checking the empty method. Now you can see we are having empty property is trying to return object type here. Just focus on the methods here. Just focus on the what are the methods we are having internally. So you can easily understand here what exactly the optional classes will provide the information here. So here, whenever we are calling the off method, whatever the value we are going to provide, internally we are getting one optional with a condition here, required not null here. Based on this particular value, internally they are checking the required not null condition. So now you can see if it object is null, we are going to get a null pointer exception. So if it is not null, what happens internally? We are going to get an optional object here. Getting the point. Mainly, we need to focus on the what are the properties we are having inside this particular optional. Now you can see optional, they are trying to create a object here with the help of this particular empty, and here they made one generic type here. So why they provided here the generic type here? Because what is the data type we are going to provide, we doesn't know. So based on the different now everything you can find here, transformer and apply methods here. Okay. So one day we'll see if you are not finding any information here. So these are the methods are available inside the particular optional class. Whatever the method we are having the doubt, first to focus on the appropriate class information, how the classes are implemented. Because every code we discuss in the core Java, by seeing this particular internal code, you can easily understand how the particular the purpose of each method here. Okay. So otherwise we'll do one thing like we'll focus on the one class here to make the new features which are available in our Java 8 here. Okay. So we'll see, no problem here.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. So any other questions here? Okay. If we don't have anything here, tomorrow we'll continue with the Hibernate here.